You're tuned in to Pop Boston Media, and we got our Illuminati representative in the building. Conspiracy News with Archbishop Jeffrey.
Yes, sir. Greetings, greetings.
So we got some topics today to go over like per usual. Let's start with X Tentacion. What's up with this? Is it a conspiracy? Was he was he? People are saying that Drizzy knocked him off. So what do you got to say about the X conspiracies? Was he a sacrifice?
X was one of our very promising individuals, very promising artists. We really loved his music. We really loved his talent. Outstanding individual. As far as Drake, quote unquote, knocking him off or killing him, he didn't necessarily do it. We did it off of strength of our love for Drake. He's one of our Jewish brothers. He's part of our bloodline. So anybody who goes against our bloodline, they simply die. And we got rid of X by voodoo curses, by black magic. So in a song, Drake actually told you guys probably didn't catch it. He said, I hit up a voodoo curse. They do it when I flew the Turks. He was talking about us. And we pretty much, during the whole shababble with XXXTentacion and our brother Drake, Aubrey Graham, when he dissed Drake, we automatically went into protection mode of Drake because we honestly didn't know if he was serious or not, or if he wanted to hurt him. And he's a XXXTentacion is an individual who also practices magic and spells and universal tactics to send energy to people. So what we did, but our knowledge on that particular subject is far more greater and far more in depth and in detail than what he could have learned in his 20 years of life. So although he was a very powerful individual, a powerful energy in this world, we were able to extract XXXTentacion from his physical body simply through programming and magic and certain spells that we put people under. We were able to take control of three individuals who we were able to possess them with certain frequencies and take control of their bodies, as you may have seen in the Matrix movie. And we were able to go and banish XXXTentacion from his physical presence. And that was his punishment for challenging our bloodline, aka Aubrey Graham, Drake.
Dang, you heard it here first. Knife Talk. Go listen to that Knife Talk. That's what he's talking about. But he piggybacking off that Mac Miller.
Yes, sir.
I've heard rumblings online, allegedly. I'm just telling what I see online, that Ariana Grande sacrificed Mac Miller, which isn't funny, but it's just crazy to think. What do you got to say about Mac Miller? Was he a sacrifice, or was that just happenstance, or just coincidental? I would say.
So as far as Ariana Grande, we spoke with her, and we chose her at a young age. We knew she's always been a devil's child. Per, you seeing her hair all red when she first was
On Nickelodeon.
when she first was released into the world and shown and debuted on Nickelodeon. As her rising in the industry and her influence within the children, we always make sure we choose the child stars. If you think of a Miley Cyrus, a Demi Lovato, a Zendaya, Selena Gomez,
I mean, even back in the day, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
Britney Spears, Fifth Harmony. What was Zendaya's co-host name on the Shake It Up show? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I know you're talking about. I mean, look at Raven Simone.
Raven Simone, Orlando Brown. A lot of these people, we make sure we start them off on the young.
The pause.
Yes, sir. We make sure we start them off young and capture the identities of the youth, because we know the youth will follow. We're creating idols. We're creating idolatry essentially, and we capture the youth young with our child celebrity stars, and then as they go into adulthood, we make sure we change their entire being to be more of a degenerate, uh, promiscuous individual. So after we've captured these millions of kids and they're paying attention to these idols that we create in their childhood, they're going to now take on their behaviors and their practices. So if you see a young child star, they always become more revealing with their clothes. They start dating a lot more. They start becoming a lot more promiscuous, and that is our way of leading all the women down the wrong path. Now, as far as Ariana Grande, her having relations with Mac Miller was her initiation into our processes of her ascension into another level in her career. She had to get somebody such as a Mac Miller, who was essentially for a while he was a loner in the industry. He didn't really practice a lot of the things that we wanted to push to the people. He was disposable. So as far as Ariana Grande, she chose Mac Miller as her sacrifice. She chose Mac Miller as her offering to ascend to another level in her career. We cleared when she offered Mac Miller, and that is why she was able to marry quickly after she left, because after she left him, we already knew who we were placing her with after. So that was her, that she already knew from the jump that she would be offering Mac Miller. And we want to thank Ariana Grande. Mac Miller was a great offering, as we reaped a lot of benefits from his passing and made a lot of money.
She was with, Big Sean. She was with Pete Davidson.
Correct.
So yeah. Okay, next topic. Bad Bunny, kissing a man. Are y'all having him push the agenda in the forefront, especially because I want to say the music that he does is probably, top genre, one of the top genres in the Latin culture.
So Bad Bunny, we are indeed using him to push the agenda. But as far as Bad Bunny, you see, our goal is to get men to we're the devil. You see, we worship the devil. We like Satanism. We like the devil. And we do little whisperings. We do little hymns in your ear, and we deceive. It's the same thing. It's the reason why the word Adam and Eve was the one who was deceived. And so there's a reason why the word Eve is in deceive. Okay? So keep up. We do little whisperings. We say little things like, we told Eve, you can eat the apple. It's okay. Nothing is wrong. So as far as Bad Bunny, what he shows you is you can kiss men. You can potentially sleep with men. You can kiss men, and you're still straight. You're still masculine. Actually, you're courageous. These things are things that are forbidden, and forbidden for you guys. But we practice these things a lot. So you have to view the world as an iPhone. The world is an iPhone. When we release iPhones, every iPhone is slightly different from the previous iPhone. Nothing much changes. So what we do is we have someone like Bad Bunny show all men that if you practice homosexuality, we will push you to the forefront of your of the world, and you will still be embraced by women. You will be seen as courageous and actually more confident, more courageous. And this will push men to believe that and start to inch a little bit more towards our practices. So if we can get you comfortable with kissing men, if we can get you comfortable with undressing around men, touching men, skin to skin, that's where it starts. Remember, I said it's all like an iPhone. Every step is gonna be slightly different from the previous step. So the first step was being shirtless around men. Comfortable with that? Okay, let's take it up a notch. Hug men. Be more feminine. Okay, comfortable there? Let's take it up a notch. Kiss men. Okay, you're okay with that? Okay. Now that we've gotten you okay with kissing men, let's grope men. Grope. You're okay with groping? Okay. Now that you're okay with groping, let's grope without clothes on.
Then fornication.
Yes. So it's all a step. And Bad Bunny he's one of our steps. Drake is one of our steps. You're okay with dressing as a woman. Lil Yachty is one of our steps. You're okay with dressing as a woman. Okay, sooner or later we're gonna get it to where men are okay with sleeping with men and they like it. So, and I'm gonna make a segue. This is a part of our plan, such as the movie The Nun. The movie Nun. If you went to go see the movie The Nun, that is one of our rituals. Your soul is currently overturning. So our goal is to make ghettophilia legal in a few decades. So as I said, we are bringing things, we're getting people more comfortable. And in the movie The Nun, as the ones who may be familiar with that movie, if you went to go see it, spoiler alert, we were murdering children in that movie. So a part of our movies are rituals. There are iPhones. There are ways of making you more susceptible and you more comfortable with certain practices of ours.
Like the movie It with the clown. He was messing with the kids.
Correct. So what we do is, in that movie, there's a young woman. There's a grown man. He's probably mid-30s, early 30s, mid-30s. There's a young woman. She has a crush on the grown man. And this movie was, if I were to break it down, it was a total spit in the face of God. It was blasphemy. And that was the point of this movie. And this is our way of possessing as many people as possible. Firstly, we have a nun who's religious, supposed to be a religious power in the community.
God-fearing woman.
And we made her a demon that kills children. And so if we can make you comfortable with children dying, we can get you comfortable with seeing a janitor at the school coming to your house and dancing with your little child. I have a question for you. Would you be okay if you had a daughter? She's, let's say, 10, 11, 12. You come home and the janitor at her school is dancing with her.
Heck no.
So
he getting feet to face, hands to face.
Correct. So when we put that in the movie, that was our way of inching people a little bit closer with seeing grown people be with adults. Okay, you're okay with seeing adults dance with children that you don't know. Okay, maybe sooner or later we can get you an inch closer to seeing kids do complete adult things, such as fornicate. So that's what that was for. And we spit in the church's face by, we put a demon in the church and none of the church members were able to realize that this was a demon. Whereas in real life, those two spirits don't connect. All the women in the movie were attracted to the demon. They were all lustful of the demon. Where when they were all working in a church school. So the movie was complete blasphemy, and that was our way of overturning souls, and it was a ritual to get people even closer to being okay with ghettophilia, spitting in the face of God. So we want to thank the creators of the Nun movie.
You heard it here first. That's crazy. That's a crazy analogy. Next topic. Gunna. He's selling out shows, going crazy. A lot of people was Young Thug his true sacrifice and the humiliation ritual. So now you guys are setting him up for nothing but success, or what's up with Gunna? Because I remember you said don't worry about Gunna, he's gonna be okay. You said Thug's gonna be okay. We waiting to see if Thug's gonna be okay.
Yeah, Gunna, he definitely made his sacrifice, his humiliation ritual. He sacrificed himself. So his previous flesh, we cloned him, and just such as you've seen in the movie Get Out, where they were able to take their consciousness and put it into a physical flesh of their liking. That's the same thing we did for Gunna. He wanted to reach a new level of success. He wanted to be more desirable to women as far as his physicality. So we took his consciousness and placed it into a new cloned him, and a new, better in shape him, and we released him to the world. And that is how we are going with the Gunna. He's living out his humiliation ritual.
Is he in the sunken place forever while his clones living out? Was that his sacrifice too? Like, is he in that sunken place? He really can't even enjoy it.
No, so we want everybody to understand. This is all in order to get this life. Everything is okay. You will go to hell, but everything is okay though. When we trade your consciousness, we don't want anyone to fear what we offer, our benefits. So all he has to do is give us his humiliation ritual, and we transfer his consciousness to a new flesh. It's just the same. You can still feel everything. You're still coherent. It's still your soul. It's still everything. It's just you're more conscious. You're gonna be essentially our puppet. That's all. You have to push our agendas, and that will make your spirit, that will take a toll on your spirit, but ultimately you have what you want, which is everything of the world. So it's you won't really feel anything until the afterlife. So while you're here, enjoy the world. If you would like to become part of the brotherhood, then we can keep transferring your consciousness to new fleshes. You don't have to ever die. You can stay here on planet Earth, stay in the world, and continue to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You don't ever have to pass away. You could stay here. You just have to help us push our agendas, help us depopulate the world as much as possible.
Speaking of pushing agenda, Doja Cat, she looks like she's turning into a full-on demon. She just doesn't even look the same no more. But in doing that, she's like completely deteriorating. There was a movie, I forgot what it is, but it's like what, Starry Eyes or something, where the girls, it's a crazy movie, but like it's kind of like the same thing she's doing. So she's got the #1 rap song now.
Yes, sir. Paint the town red.
So is the first one of 2023. So her doing that and turning into an actual demon, did that help her become, the #1 rap song?
Yes, sir. So,
or her get the #1 rap song 2023?
Yes, sir. So artists such as Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kanye West, 50 Cent, Eminem. These artists, once again, the world is an iPhone. We get you used to certain images, and then we throw it, and now you're okay with this. So before, we would have artists such as Jay-Z or Eminem, put horns on their head or throw up the all-seeing guy. Once we got, do the thing there, those things are getting you okay. It's a you can think of it as a mind control. It's a when you watch the movie Get Out and she tings on the cup and then he goes into the sunken place, that's what that is for. So when we throw up this sign, we throw you into a sunken place. You go right back into our mind control that we have. It's a reminder to go back into your mind control every time we do that. So that's why we have every artist throw it in. Now that it throws you back into the path that we want you to follow, now that you're okay with images such as horns being put on the head, or,
Demonic and Baphomet type stuff.
correct. Now we can put out Doja Cat. Now that people still worship Doja Cat, she's still number one. You're essentially worshiping Satan. So now that you worship Satan, why wouldn't you take on any of our practices? Why wouldn't you take on, now that you've completely turned your back against God, why wouldn't you take on our gedophilia practices? Why wouldn't you take on our human trafficking practices or all of these practices? Sacrificial practices.
Pushing demonic, just look what she's got. The demonic tattoo, she's branded now.
Correct.
And like I said, she don't even look the same what she looked like a few years ago. She just looks totally different. Hair gone. Looks like the hair is losing it too. So she's slowly turning into a freaking demon gargoyle.
Correct. So that's what she's one of our final projects, but we do have another one coming where we will directly tell people you have to worship Satan. You have to worship Satan, worship the devil to be a part. And if you don't do that,
you're not a true fan.
You're not a true fan, or you won't be able to get into certain places if you aren't abiding by this agenda of worshiping or all hail Satan.
You heard it here first. Had to ask about that. I've been seeing those conspiracies. All right, last two. Sexy Red. Was Sexy Red the video shoot that happened? There was two people that got shot. One was killed. Was that a sacrifice for Sexy Red so she can continue to prosper to her new levels and hit the algorithms? Or what's up with that?
So, two people shot, one dead. Interesting. When Glorilla had her concert, Kerbuckle, it was the same numbers, correct? 3 people shot.
Around, yeah.
So, as far as Sexy Red, her name is Red. She's a blood. My apologies. She's not actually Sexy Red. She's actually Young Thug. She's a clone. And yes, she was due for sacrifice. Her 3 numbers, we lined up her numbers. Always pay attention to the number 3, 6, and 9. They're always due for sacrifice. Whenever you see those numbers, there was a sacrifice. And Sexy Red, we've given her a lot of success. We gave her a #1 song, and we're now about to give her a record deal for tens of millions after this sacrifice. So, and she lined it up perfectly with her number 3. So, always pay attention to the numbers 3, 6, and 9.
Yep. Especially 6 and 9. Look at those for sure. Okay, so this is another one, last one. Offset. He was on a 24-hour stream with Kai Cenat. But the interesting thing is they did the same type of thing to Offset that Charleston White was talking about with Aiden Ross, though.
Correct.
Put his hand in a a box, and it's different animals, and one was a snake. Was that a blood sacrifice in a sense to a ritual to get something to clone, maybe Offset, or what was that whole thing for? And did y'all make Offset do that stream?
As far as the Migos, we've gotten rid of Takeoff. We love Takeoff, by the way. We want to essentially get rid of all the Migos. We want them all to pass away. So what we have going with Quavo, we have Takeoff already passed away. We have Quavo and with a situation with one of our ground men, Jay Prince Jr. He's going to beef with them and potentially be taken out that way through this beef with them. And then Offset is the individual who will also pass away from a beef potentially. We want to take all three out because it's perfect for our numbers. And as far as the situation with the snake, that was our front for him prolonging his life. So a lot of the times our sacrifices are just a way to prolong life. And because the devil really wants your soul, he wants you. But once you commit to us, you have a time, and the time never is always about 10 to 15 years. And within those 10 to 15 years, in order to prolong your contract with the devil, you have to make a sacrifice. And that blood sacrifice he made with the snakes, that prolonged his life a little bit longer, and him and Quavo, the other artist of the Migos that you guys may not be familiar with, they both gave us Takeoff. If you think of in the entire group, if anyone was to pass away, who would you take off? Correctly. So
using words like you said, as spells.
Correct. The words are spells, and yeah, they've given us their sacrifice of Takeoff, and now that was his way to sign his contract, and now we will give him the success that he deserves. He gave us his sacrifice. The blood was his signing of the contract, and now everything will commence for him. And Quavo gave us his allegiance with Takeoff's murder. He spilled blood. So.
Oh man, you heard it here first. Well, I think that is all that we have today for Conspiracy News. Yes, that's everything. So I appreciate you coming through, Archbishop Jeffrey. This is Pop Austin Media, and we signing out.
Thank you.